I'm of course going to do a full video on this guitar soon, but I couldn't contain my excitement and I had to show you right now. So I'll show it to you very quickly, the thought process behind it, and yeah. So this is the guitar. There's a lot of story behind this, so let's get right to it. First things first, fretboard. I went with rich light. Number one, I like rich light. I like how it feels. I like that it's very black, but also this is a Ciccadini guitar, which came from Italy. I'm in the US. I just figured to be safe, let's just go with rich light since it's going to make it less likely to sprout in the future. So this came out really great. We have stainless steel frets, 20-inch radius, so it's nice and flat. And right out of the box, the action is pretty much exactly how I would want it. Believe it or not, I don't play with crazy low action. I like something medium to medium low, and it's perfect. So that's great. Lumen lay side dots, but the lights are on, so you can't tell yet. And now here's the really crazy thing about this guitar. You can't tell from the video, but this neck is ginormous. Basically, while I was filming the Les Paul experiment, I kind of changed my mind about the specs for this guitar. And I'm like, you know what? I like the 50s Les Paul neck so much. I want a giant 50s Les Paul style neck on this guitar. And so that's what this has. It feels humongous. In fact, when you pair this really big round neck with the very flat fretboard, it almost feels like you took a baseball bat and just cut it right down the middle so that it's super round and big here and then totally flat here. And I love the way it feels. My hands are big-ish, but yeah, it just feels great. So I really love that. We're going to talk about the finish in a second because the finish was a really big deal. A couple of other modifications for my guitar. We moved the jack from here. Well, we moved it to here from over here. So they're usually somewhere over here on the guitar, but I wanted mine up here, so it's even more out of the way. That worked out fine. Back to the front. We have a flame maple top. And I believe, I kind of forgot, this is embarrassing, but I believe the whole guitar is made out of ash. And then I have a flame maple top, mostly for aesthetics. And as you can see, it looks awesome. Seymour Duncan JB Jazz pickups. I know, guys, you would think that I would pick some fancy boutique something or another, but here's the thing. The JB Jazz set, it works. You don't need to mess with it. It works, no issues. So they sound great. They sound like they should. Very simple 3-way switch. We also have a push-push knob, which I'm probably never going to use, but I did test it. It does sound great. And so I have that if I ever decide to use it. Again, simple 3-way. This is made to be as simple as possible. Volume knob. Although I like having a tone knob, on a body this small, I didn't like the way it would look on this body, especially if I were to use like a stacked knob. It would just stick up so high on a very tiny body. It didn't make sense to me. So I just went over to my Axe Effects and I put like a little EQ pedal right after the input, and I just turned some of the treble down. So I just built a tone knob into my settings. No big deal. Very simple. Then we have the Hipshot Headless Tremolo. This is probably the ugliest tremolo on the market, but it is also the best tremolo on the market, in my humble opinion. Why? Well, we have normal saddles normal height adjustable saddles right here. And then intonation is also very simple. It's a screw right here, just like on like a Fender Strat. So you don't have to do a really annoying fancy headless thing where you have to, untighten one thing and slide it up and tighten it and test it and untighten it. It's so annoying to intonate a lot of headless tremolos. This one, it just works like a regular guitar. Then we have the tuners right here. So it just works. One annoying thing about this tremolo, very small detail, but you can't actually adjust the arm until you lift it up because the adjustment screw is down there and it's hidden. So you have to you see it right there now. So you have to let go of it. Can't see it. When you want to adjust it, you have to do it that way. But whatever. I won't be adjusting it much anyway. So that's that. We did consider changing this headstock so that it was a little bit wider. Because if it was a bit wider, we can put it on a hanging stand. But I didn't like the way it looked when it was super wide. And I didn't want to be annoying. So I'm like, you know what? It's fine. I have this nice stand right here that's adjustable. So I can adjust it to fit this guitar just fine. No big deal. Still works fine. Now, finally, let's talk about the paint job. So I've always had this dream. And I actually have a guitar like this already. But it's an Indian music guitar, which you've never seen on the channel because I don't use it for the channel. But anyway, I always had this dream of having a guitar that looked like a really old violin that had some wear on it, that old, dark, classical kind of a look. And that's what we went with here. So I sent him an article of this really old violin that, it's really dark brown and has some wearing on it, but it just looks beautiful. I love that aesthetic. And so he came up with this finish, this stain of sorts, which is pretty much exactly the color of the violin that I sent him. This is a little lighter, but it looks darker in person, so it works out really, really perfectly. And so that's the color we went with. But then also, just here and there, if you look closely, you'll see that the finish is worn away just a little bit, almost like a light relicing, but it's mostly like a little bit of an aging thing. So right in the center, you see it's a little bit lighter than the rest. Right on the back here, you see how dark the heel joint is compared to this side right here. A little bit lighter, has been worn off. The neck also, you see it's nice and light, like you've been playing it for a long time. So this is not some really big, extensive relic, but it does look like it has been kind of aged naturally, which I wanted to capture, and it came out perfectly as well. We also experimented with the idea of having an F-hole, which would have been better. But again, an F-hole doesn't fit on every body style. So the F-hole doesn't fit on this body. It doesn't look very good here. So, and this also is already sleek and curvy enough. So no need to have it. And other than that, the rest is in the other Chickadee video I did. It's just an amazing guitar, amazingly well built, amazing price, all things considered. And it just works. It's phenomenal. I've been playing it all day and all last night, and it's amazing. It's perfect. I really think it's cool that we now have somewhere on the planet a very sleek headless guitar that has a ginormous Gibson style 50s Les Paul neck. To me, that's like peak annoying guitar person to request. So that's the guitar, and it's phenomenal. More very soon.